Good evening. Let's talk family. And tonight is Monday night, and every Monday night we go over our Power Book 4 Force review. And this is episode 6 review. Tonight we have two of the three. Uh, our little buddy Dwayne has been traveling all weekend, so he didn't get a chance to come to watch it, so he didn't want to come on and just to come on. He wanted to come on and be prepared. So hopefully we'll see Dwayne again next week. We have myself and Keisha here tonight to discuss episode 6. Keisha,
Yes.
talk to me.
I didn't like it. I'm not feeling terrible force whatsoever. I didn't like Tommy just walking up. Tommy's supposed to be dead. He just walking around like he alive. Everybody saying his name. That's Tommy Egan. That's Tommy Egan. Clearly it's a drug pipeline from Chicago to New York, and no one has did any investigation on Tommy Egan. And
Mm.
that should have the police do an investigation because Egan is unalive or whatever. He back alive. I didn't like that. I don't like that Diamond is stupid, or well, that's what they like. He been locked up. He was the king of the hill, and he ain't got no cutty. And we are going into episode 6.
Mm.
That doesn't seem realistic to me. And then, you know, he wasn't he just so trusting.
Yeah,
He,
I thought that was interesting myself that he was that trusting with a perfectly stranger. I mean, he do come off of a person that may have charisma, but he still shouldn't allow certain people into his space. But see that even goes back to him allowing Tommy in his space. And something
right.
we talked about, like at the end of the day, we know it's just a show. We know whatever about it, but it has to have some authenticity, and I think it loses authenticity when street dudes just allow a white boy, just black street dudes, just allow a white boy to come from out of nowhere and come within their circle, and nobody even say it. I had mentioned it last week, and somebody was like, "Well, somebody they know he ain't police." Nah, it's not that simple. People different, and I'm not saying Chicago don't have the same dynamics that the New York area has, but people are very cautious with who they allow around, and everybody's not invited to the cookout. So I always thought that was interesting. I do agree with you with the Tommy Egan thing, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and everybody's saying, "Oh, they know." He still has never introduced himself as Tommy Egan to
Only
anybody.
person who should know his name is Liliana.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you feel about the first scene was Claudia burying her first body, and basically the last scene was Claudia burying her second body. How'd you feel about that? Those two scenes and the difference.
Claudia is a tough girl now. She ain't killed nobody yet. She ain't killed nobody yet, and now she done killed 2 people in one episode. Um, I don't know. It. I don't know. Well, we know that it ain't Reg from the Shy because she done killed Reg.
Yeah,
Because that
I
was
thought
the guy's name.
if that was I thought that was interesting. Like in the beginning, where it came and she was like, you killed the chick with the ice pick or whatever, or the letter opener, whatever it was, and it's like you seem to be so surprised. I mean,
It seemed
it,
like she was traumatized.
yeah, and then
Um,
Tommy had to
it
tell her like it gets better.
like it's just life. I didn't. Let me see. And then Diamond and Janara putting up the 10% for the serves. I didn't like that part either. Um,
I thought that was odd because you figure y'all done already killed some Serbs, and basically when y'all chose to tell Tommy let's all go our separate ways, y'all got a beef now. Like, what makes y'all think that y'all could fight the Serbs now, not unify when y'all was fighting the Serbs
and
together?
if Tommy don't have an army, of course he ain't gonna have no casualties. It's gonna be on y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I did like the father when he came in there. He killed everybody. I like that.
I think that was well overdue as the head. Like everybody was saying, like he always talks slick, but even you would think that you would see occasional one or two bodyguards, and you see his brother-in-law Paulie. But at the end of the day, you don't see an army with him. Like you would think, as much pull as he's supposed to have, they don't even have like a team. You even see that with the CIB. CIB, like I mean, whatever they call. It. I be getting so many daggone gangs and
CBI.
CBI mixed up. You always see like one or two henchmen or whatever, and it's like, is y'all really ready for war? Like, so I found it interesting. I'm not gonna say I didn't like the episode. I'll just say that it is very eerie and similar to Power. A lot of people compared like the whole scene with doing how Tariq's method with the with course correct. It's totally opposite of course correct. That's the same method that Ghost and them had in Power. And Tommy explained that though. So you it's too similar.
It made me look at Power Book and judge it because Power Book 2, because Tariq wasn't around Ghost and Tommy. He
hmm
he he was around Kanan and he was pulling licks. Not
yeah.
to be able, now I do think they had an episode where they was talking about the lockers, but um yeah, it's very similar.
So I thought that was interesting. Like I agree with you on the 10%. Oh, now Jannard want to use his brains. He just shot at the Serbs, Tommy, or either Liliana. We don't know who Jannard really shot at because at the end of the day, he didn't even want the young boy to go shoot at Tommy. He just wanted to watch him.
Well, he
Like,
using his Harvard, his Ivy League brain,
yeah.
because
So now he
he was
using the
going to
Ivy
Ivy
League
League.
brain, and I did catch that. It's like he's blaming Diamond subconsciously for what he did. Like, he went to the street. He was on his way to the Ivy League. Yolanda said, "What do you think about the son looking in the window and wonder what he was thinking?" Well, we know what he was thinking. He said, "Oh shit." I think he was really surprised. Like, damn, how the hell Tommy and my father mixed up, and them Tommy's mixed up with my guys. So I think he's probably wondering now, like,
He
who
trying to
Tommy
figure
gonna
out the
be.
connection between Tommy and his father.
I did think it was nice that he gave the money back because really it shows that he doesn't, and we knew that from he was doing the vandalism. He's not trying to hurt his father. He's just trying to get his father's attention. But I think they dragging that story a little too many. Like, get it over with already. Like, we know it's going to be a time where he's going to find out who his father is. Father find out who the son is. You don't have to wait until the ninth and 10th episode of the series to let us know what's going on. And then you see the whole thing with JP Keisha. It's like he wants to know. He want to know. He's going to be the one, I guess. If
Where's
they,
Kate?
you said, where's Kate?
Yes.
You want Kate in here?
Kate needs to be here and answer for why she gave up her black child and kept and raised a white one.
I think that's going to be a whole dynamic that I think that's for Tommy. I think he needs to know that because he just gave up on Kate and just think she's the worst mother in the world. I think it's going to put a different light on Kate and why she did what she did because it doesn't seem right because we talked about it before. Like the way that she loved Jamie, it ain't got nothing to do with the black kid. Like she could have
I
just
just
took
don't
JP
even
with her.
understand the Kate dynamic. Like he always runs to Kate, so why are we pretending like he hates Kate?
Mm, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean the whole thing with the drug thing. I thought that was interesting. Them kidnapping the chemist. The chemist, like you threatened her already before the chemist act like she was surprised. If she threatened her the first time, she should have been well ready for her or whoever was going to come the second time and get the recipe to the mix. And she's about to be out of there because she only going to serve one purpose to do what she do in front of Liliana. And once Liliana find out the mix, it's over.
Yep. And that's what Liliana trying to do, to find the mix.
I was surprised that Liliana told her like, yo, when she mentioned that she's not a drug dealer, and Liliana said it's an opportunity. I want to know more about Liliana Keisha. Like she left Power in season one. She been in Chicago, let's say for 7 seasons or years. Let's just say seasons, whatever. However, whatever timeline they have. What is the deal with Liliana? Like she has nothing. If she'd been a drug dealer the whole time, she should have some type of money, some type of something.
Yeah, I don't understand why Liliana is living so poor if she's such a big time drug dealer.
Yeah,
Cause
CJ
she been
said
cutting the drugs for everybody.
CJ. I said CJ. SJ said Kate cut ties with him at the end of the original Power, so that's why he's mad. No, she cut ties with him during that Jamie's will or estate and said, yeah, he left me
Yeah,
money.
but in Power Book with that was Kate's car that
Yeah, that
Tommy
was
was
her.
in
That
that
was her
blew
car.
up. He
Who
went
faked
to
death.
Kate. Yeah,
So he
so
went
they
to
ain't
Kate and
mad. He
that
went to
got that
Kate.
BMW. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the missing piece. Like, okay, he said you ain't never gonna see me again. He's supposed to go to California. He stopped in Chicago. She know that she got ties in Chicago, and he remembers
And
his
she
grandma.
knows that he's alive.
Yeah, and she know he's alive. So it's so much stuff that where Kate is probably gonna make an appearance in the show that they have to wrap up because at the end of the day, like, why did she leave? Like Keisha said, why did she leave JP and didn't? Why did she leave JP? We just want to know that. Why did she leave the black son? We know she's not racist and don't got a problem with having a black son because her love for Jamie was so high. So what was the reason why she left Chicago? And we know that she's Irish and Tommy's half Irish and half Italian because Teresi's wife called the Irish names, the nicknames that they use. So interesting, Keisha.
Yeah, I wanna know more about that dynamic and how maybe they tie into the Flins if they do.
What do you think about Claudia and Tommy? What do you think they're trying to do? Now? You think they're trying to have like have them have a business relationship, but like some sexual tension there?
It's some tension there, but I would hope it don't go nowhere. Tommy needs a redhead or a black girl.
So you typecasted Tommy already, huh?
That's what he like.
He liked that mocha. He liked the mocha.
Many do.
So who do you think was shooting at Vic and Gloria? You think that was the Serbs?
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Now let's talk about the girl, Keisha. What's her name? Adrian?
Yeah, is she a cop?
I ain't gonna
And
lie to you. I ain't even gonna front to you, yo. I'm sick of the cop shit. I,
I
I,
mean,
I
is
really
that
am.
what they do to women cops? They honey boo boos and they have to give up their stuff.
I mean, I don't think that she's a cop. I think she might be working for Rojas. He put him in the wheelchair. Obviously, he got some paper. People still trying to get at Diamond, or he's or she's somebody that Diamond done did something to in the past. He just don't remember who she could be. I don't like the cop angle. Like, come on, let's get more into the. I feel like this story needs to get more into the story and having a police angle. And even when the alleged feds raided his office, like they don't have no boss. It's just these two black investigators with nobody leading the charge. Usually in these shows you'll have the field investigators, and then you'll have somebody that's in the office like overseeing everything. I just don't like the angle and all this stuff. And even the black cop, you had him in 3 episodes. Now since Diamond know that he's paying off Vic, like what is his purpose? He basically said Diamond sold the bad package to somebody in his family. And like we ain't gonna see him no more. Like what was his whole
And I
purpose?
mean, they just have regular cops doing all this stuff that regular cops just don't do.
Yeah.
And that That's troubling to me as well. And if the feds come knocking, they got you.
Yeah, why would they raid him to look at his paperwork? You would think if after they raided him, they'd have something to at least arrest him. Like it's really no investigation. The investigation is more silent, and then the indictment is still. But I guess that's too much authentic, and we can't have that on the show.
I mean, the way the feds is knocking people off right now, when the feds come knocking, they got you. That should be real.
So I don't know. I mean, we ain't gonna be here all night. You know what?
No, because we need Dwayne's perspective because he watches it from the enjoyment. We do too, but he always comes with a little different perspective than we do.
You want to give a rating?
Or
A four ain't bad. A four ain't bad, honestly. I
for
mean,
this show, it ain't bad because I'm gonna give 7 and 8.
well, I think that when we do start giving those types of eights and nines and my highest rating was a 9.5 ever. I think that they need to earn it. I think that we shouldn't throw out those big numbers unless they earn it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm giving this episode a three. Um,
Wow, a
I was
3.
I,
You worse than me.
it was underwhelmed for episode 6. I
And
mean,
I don't know how I felt about Tommy in that suit. I don't know.
Yolanda said it's a 7 just for the ending. Yeah, Yolanda, the ending was kind of nice with Flint killing the Serbs and telling them like, "Yo, go tell Malkovich, stay the hell away from our family." And then with Claudia, actually being comfortable burying the second body. But I just think it
All
was
in one day, she didn't bury 2 people in a 24-hour period.
I think it was an underwhelming episode. Usually they take a break between episode 5 and 6 in the Stars and the Powerverse, but they didn't take a break in this. Out of all their shows they've ever done, they never took a break between 5 and 6 between this. And I just think 6 was underwhelming. This is why I'm giving it a 3. I mean, I expected more. I'm gonna be honest. And it's not about the action. It's not about the action with me. It's more of the storyline. Like, what is the purpose of Gloria? Like, really, you're gonna force her on old head Flynn, and he's basically gonna die or kill himself? Like, where you go?
Gloria came, she was the sun hid under the car. She came up with the gun.
Yeah, yeah. She grabbed the blizzy from Vic, and she started bucking like she what she was doing. Like she the one that had some training, and then even the fact that I'm showing Paulie's son, like, okay, you showed that his son was homeless, messed up on drugs or whatever. So now you could see why Paulie has empathy for what you call it, the Flynn, like Walter. Like, I, it's
No,
just
to me, it's showing how Paulie is going to tell on them.
so you think Paulie's gonna be the one to tell?
Yep, because the son gonna get in big trouble, big trouble.
Mm, interesting. I just think it's weird. And even when he slapped him, but Andre, she said her husband was in the military and he never came home. That don't mean she know how to handle the blizzy, man.
Yeah. Well, she knew how to handle it and wasn't
She
afraid. He
she
was afraid,
right.
and he was just in a gun battle.
I just think that Vic is. I don't even think Vic really want the business. He's the one. Keisha. You always mention how the ghost character is not really Jamie. It's really anybody in the Power universe that has a confliction going on. So you can see that Vic is conflicted. Vic really don't even like even when you look at him from the street aspect and what he's trying to do, he want everybody to work together because he don't have an issue with dealing with the race and the history of Chicago. But he
I
don't
just
seem like
want to know how he was in a gun battle and then he was under the car.
so you say he was scared.
He was scared.
I think he was under the assumption because of who he is, he never probably thought nobody would take a shot at him. But I don't even think it's the Serbs. I think it might be something totally else, something totally different.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think if the Serbs do try to come back, which they should come back because they got shot at with Tommy. The way that Melkovich was talking to Tommy in last episode is like, yo, you don't cause so many deaths. He was basically talking to him like, yo, you causing me money, you're gonna have to work. So now, like, you know, he need to do something. Okay. S.J. Smith said Gloria's character description says she's a former Marine. Okay, so now we know why she knows how to handle the blizzy. Yolanda said he was scared. Yolanda said he was scared, Keisha. What's them ratings, y'all? Yolanda, you told us. S.J. Smith, tell us what you rate in the episode. And Andre, if you still watching, tell us what you rate in the episode. Yeah, Keisha, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm. You know how we do with reviews. I guess if we was running around here giving all these tens,
I
we'd be.
really, really like Tommy, but I want to see Tommy, and I don't feel like I'm seeing Tommy.
Andre gave it a 5.
I feel like you know Tommy was running stuff by the end of Power, and maybe they killed too many people because I did really like his interactions with like Two Bit and Spanky and Grim. And I know he has to build relationships with these people, so I'm trying not to be so hard. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just not gelling for me.
I
And
know
I
one
really
thing. One
wanted
thing.
to.
One thing that bothered me, Keisha, was them saying they took a vote to vote Tommy out. I thought that was weird. I thought that
Yeah,
they
because he brought them together.
like here it is. Y'all knew, like even Diamond said it. Like y'all knew the consequences on what could happen. All right, y'all took it. Both of y'all took a death in your camp, but at the end of the day, y'all was just talking about how for CBI, y'all was just talking about how happy y'all was for getting that extra point to 34%, and Vic was being happy with his 33%. Like what changed? I know it's the death, but at the end of the day, like now y'all in.
Like Tommy said, they ain't really been in no battles. They ain't been in no wars. Because he said that to the brother, like, you've been living off your brother's coattails. I did like that part.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, Keisha, I call you Tasha. Keisha, they don't have no drugs to sell. They don't bought the ten bricks from Tommy. They ain't got nothing coming in. At
And
least,
now Tommy onto a new drug.
yeah, Tommy on to something else. And Claudia is definitely not going to tell Vic what she's doing. She's going to keep quiet about that whole thing. I don't know. But look, we ain't
I
going to stay
still
on.
have hope that it's going to get better, though.
We ain't gonna stay on too late. We're gonna close out the show. Like I said, Dwayne couldn't join us tonight because of some prior engagements, and he was running all weekend. And Dwayne will be back here next week with his great perspective. And we always like to keep the show short and not try to just keep talking and talking about the episode because we all seen it. Keisha, I actually saw this episode 3 times.
I
I
fell
just
asleep every time I tried to watch it.
oh be nice, y'all.
No, I'm for real. I fell asleep every time.
We'll see what happens next week. Next week should be even more interesting. I didn't even. A lot of people always watch the previews. I never watched the previews the following week, which is interesting. With that, we're gonna close the show. Any final thoughts, Keisha?
I'm hoping, I'm praying it gets better.
All right. With that, we're gonna close the show. Thanks you guys for joining us. We know the show might be a little bit short, but at the end of the day, it's perfect for us. Short, sweet, straight to the point. Until next week, we'll see you guys.